welcome back. I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to show you my Easter decorations that I've been making, and I know that you all really enjoyed the Valentine's video that I made, so I made this new one for you. If you're new here, then welcome. It's nice to have you. Please make sure you subscribe if you'd like to see some more crafty content. So jumping straight in with our first project, we're going to make a wreath. It's going to be a little bit different to the usual wreaths that you see. I want it to be a bunny rabbit shape. Be slightly different to what you normally see. So we start with our craft wire and we make the basic shape of the bunny rabbit, attaching the wire with aluminium foil tape. It takes a little while, this part, because you want to mould the wire to a nice shape, get all the kinks out of it, and then once we're happy with it, we're going to go in with the hot glue gun, and instead of using like a foliage, like you see a lot of these wreaths with like all foliage and flowers on for Easter, I decided to go in with pipe cleaners instead. I thought it'd look really nice and make a nice effect, so I did that, and I wrapped the pipe cleaners around. Made a nice pattern with them. I just really love them. I love pipe cleaners. I just think they're really nice to play with. I didn't glue the whole of the wire for this part. I'd just do a little bit of glue and then I'd wrap the pipe cleaner around a couple of times and then just keep doing little bits of glue just to keep it in place more than anything, because you don't want loads and loads of glue on it because it can make it all lumpy. Obviously, you've got to be very, very careful of your fingers. My hot glue gun doesn't have a temperature gauge on it, so it gets really, really hot. And yeah, I just kept going. I decided I wanted to use 3 different colours, all pastel for Easter, because I love pastel colours and I love Easter for that. And yeah, just take your time and make sure all the wire was covered. And I was really happy when it was finished. I decided to carry on decorating, but with these lovely little pom-poms that I found. They were really tiny little pastel pom-poms, and they were perfect for covering up any little gaps in between the pipe cleaners, so that you couldn't see any of the wire afterwards. And for finishing touches, I just added this lovely little bow, added some little flowers to the centre, and I went in with some larger pom-poms and some more flowers just to add a bit more detail around the edges. I ended up making 3 of these in the end. They were all slightly different and I just love them. I think they've turned out really nicely. So my next project was a little bit of an upcycle with a few things that I just had laying around the house, combined with a few things that I bought from the pound shop as well. I had an old picture frame and some old bunny ears. So I started off cutting out the pictures of some old cards that I had, some Easter cards, and I really like the pictures on them. They're really pretty. And I took the back off of the picture frame and I removed the plastic cover, the plastic front, because it was really scratched, because it was a really old picture frame. So I got rid of that. And I don't really like the sheen on it either. I just thought it'd look a lot nicer without the plastic front on, because I want this picture to be a little bit more of a 3D. I glued some pink card to the backing of the photo frame and I put the frame back on. And then I got my pictures that I'd cut out previously and arranged them where I wanted them before I stuck them down. These are just some old Easter cards that I've had for years, and I don't really give out cards. I literally just bought them because I thought they were really pretty and I knew they'd come in handy. So here we are using them. I'm just sticking them down with PVA glue. And I just left it for a couple of minutes to dry, And then I moved on to my next part, which was decorating. I had some old bits of foliage left over from some of my flower crowns that I make. And I made this lovely little montage in the corner and made it like just really springy, and I wanted it to be a bird's nest. With I've got a few things that I got from the pound shop, a little bird's nest and some little polystyrene eggs. I was really happy with how that turned out, and I thought actually I really want to do a little bit more of this. So I decorated around the pictures a little bit more with some like paper card making flowers that I had, and I had a little think about what I could do for the top. Obviously, I really wanted to incorporate the old bunny ears into it, so I cut the ears off of the headband because they were really scruffy. They were falling apart a little bit. They're just really old, basically. So I took the ears off and I thought about how I could make them a little bit nicer. And then I thought, oh, I'll use my my pipe cleaners again. So I just went round the edges. I stuck any bits down that were coming apart, and I just decorated around the edges with the pipe cleaners, and it looked really, really nice. So I did this on both of them, and it stopped them looking really shabby and old. It just made a really nice effect. It made the edges stand out, and yeah, they were just a lot nicer, and it was so easy to just fix them. So once the glue dried, I just moulded them back into shape. Just used a little bit of glue to get the nice shape back on the bottoms, and I decided to attach them to the top of the picture frame and carry on decorating with the foliage that I still had left over, so it would match the bottom of the picture, and that the whole thing just had a really nice flow to it. And it looked lovely. I was really happy with how it turned out in the end. So I decided I really wanted to make some bunting. So I started off by ironing all my fabrics out to get all the creases out, and I cut 6 egg shapes out of my patterned fabrics, and for the back of them I'm just going to use this just plain white cotton. I started pinning my eggs together, right sides together, so it was one pattern side to one plain white side. And then I stitched them up on my sewing machine, making sure to leave a gap at the bottom to be able to turn it inside out, turn it the right way around once it was finished being sewn. Before I turned the eggs the right way around, I took my scissors and I cut all around the seam allowance. You only have to do it to half of the seam allowance. You need to put lots of little slits in. And you do this anytime you cut on a curve, because that will allow the fabric to have movement in it, so that when you turn it the right way around, it'll have a nice circle shape. And then I just turned the seam allowance in for the bottom and pinned it together, and I just hand sew all of the bottoms using an invisible stitch or a pipe stitch. Then once I'd finished ironing the eggs out, I'd just place them all along the ribbon that I wanted to attach them to and space them out evenly, and then I just quickly attached them with a pin to mark where I wanted them to be. I then took my needle and thread to secure them where I wanted them on the ribbon. Then with the same needle and thread, I took the polystyrene eggs that I bought from the pound shop and I threaded them. And yeah, I did this for so long to make like a really pretty beaded trim out of the eggs, and then I attached them to the egg next to where I'd started. I did this all along the bunting, and until I'd basically run out of polystyrene eggs that I had. And in the gaps that didn't have any trim, I used this fluffy pom-pom trim, and I just thought it looked really, really nice. I liked the contrast of it. I just thought it looked really pretty. Once I was happy with how evenly spread out everything was on my bunting and all the trims and everything, I just went in with these pretty flowers just to add a finish to them. So I just stuck them on with hot glue gun, and that was it. It was a fairly quick and easy little project to do, and it looks really, really effective. It looks really nice in my dining room. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a lovely Easter.